today I do not feel like working. I don't feel like making YouTube videos. I don't feel like doing any work today. And it happens to me quite a bit, way more than you would expect. So I want to talk about in this video how I deal with this. How am I making this YouTube video right now? And the thing is, if you can learn what I'm about to teach in this video, it's going to make a huge difference in your life, because until I learned the skill, until I figured out how to actually manage this, I had mediocre success in life. So really important that you figure this out. So the big thing here is, like I said, is that one of the greatest skills that you can develop is the ability to work without motivation. And here's the thing that you need to understand, because you need to understand the basics of this, which is that you're not always going to feel motivation in life, and you're not going to feel like working, and mostly you're going to feel like not working. And you might think that if you got the right job, or if you could do this thing, your passion, your hobby, that you would enjoy it and that you would love to work. And that might be true at first, but every single thing that you ever do, it's going to require a grind to be successful at it, and it's eventually going to feel like work. I can tell you from personal experience, I started out doing my first job as in a call center, answering the phone all day, doing HP support for printers and for computers. And it was grueling. Literally, you're on the phone all day. You have no break at all, just 8 hours straight. The first couple of days I did the job, I was like, there's no way you can do this. Eventually, I adjusted to the job. But I thought, man, if I could just get my job doing programming, that would be so awesome. I could just sit there and write code. That's what I really want to do. And eventually, I did get that job. And I remember when I got that job, it was great at first, and I did enjoy it. And I still do enjoy programming. But soon, once I started my blog, I started fantasizing about, well, if I didn't have to do this work for someone else, if I could just write my blog posts every day or do my podcast. And eventually I got to a point where that's what I did. I quit my job. I was able to do those things. And then when I was doing that and making videos, I thought about my coaching business. If I expanded that, what if I could just jump on phone calls and talk to people? And I do coaching now. Every Wednesday, my entire schedule is booked with coaching calls. And I do not feel like Wednesday is one of my hardest days of the week doing all these coaching calls. It still becomes work no matter what. So my whole point of this is not to dissuade you or to get rid of your motivation or to make you feel pessimistic in life. It's just to realize that you're going to have to deal with this problem, that trying to go somewhere else, trying to do something else, trying to change your external circumstances is not going to fix this problem when it's an internal problem. It's a problem within you. It's a problem I still face. It's not one that's going away, and there is no cure for this. It's just part of human nature. So we have to figure out how to work around that and still accomplish things in our lives. Now, are you going to go through periods of time where you're more motivated and not? Yes, you are. And that's the whole point, is that we want to level these things out, because the people who are successful in life, who are most successful, are the people who are able to stick to something and keep going even when they don't feel like it. You could look at that in terms of business. You could look at that in terms of diet and health and nutrition and getting the physique you want and getting in shape and running and accomplishing any kind of major thing that you want to accomplish in life. So the first thing that you need to do in order to really solve this problem, besides understanding this, because I think understanding the problem, what I just told you, is so critical, is that you just need to force yourself to sit down for a period of time. I know this sounds like really basic advice, but let me tell you a little story. First time in my life where I became a finisher, I was working on this Android app called Pacemaker, and the app was designed to tell you if you should go faster or slower when you're running. This was way back, like over 10 years ago. So those apps didn't exist. It was one of the first Android apps out there, really. So I developed this app idea, and I developed some of a prototype in it because I wanted to learn how to program Android, and I thought that'd be fun. And I made this whole backlog of all these tasks that need to be done in the design. I hired a designer to create the design for the screen so I could make this really professional looking app. And after a few weeks of working on the app and getting through all the fun part, there was still a lot of work left, and I didn't feel like doing it anymore. I almost gave up. I almost quit. Like I had quit everything else, all the other projects I'd ever started. But then there was something in me that said, John, you're going to finish this damn thing. You're actually going to finish something that you started. And so what I did was I set aside a time, and I said, every day for 1 hour after work, I'm going to work on this app. I'm just going to pick up whatever. I'm going to prioritize what cards I have for what tasks need to be done. And I'm going to work on programming this. And I don't know how I'm going to solve some of these problems. When I looked at the UI that this designer created, I was like, there's no way you can't even create this in Android. In fact, it was true. But so what I had to do was I had to create custom buttons and custom toolbars and all kinds of stuff, which I learned and researched on how to do that in Android. It was certainly a lot of work, but I figured all that stuff out. And what I did was just 1 hour a day. I just whittled away. So I would just get home from work. I'd set the timer for an hour. And some days it would be like torture. I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this for an hour, but I would get in front of the computer and I would just focus on working on this for 1 hour. And slowly over time, I made progress. In fact, I made progress way faster than I expected. And I finished the entire app, I think, in about a month. So really 30 hours, that was it. And I had this whole app published. And from there, huge things happened in my career. It essentially opened up the door for me to create courses at Pluralsight, which ended up paying me millions of dollars, ended up allowing me to quit my job and starting Simple Program and then starting this business and a whole bunch of other things that came from that, plus my ability to program and to become a finisher. But this was a critical skill. And in that, I learned something, which is just sit down and do the work. Since then, I've published 2 best-selling books in the software development space by sitting down and doing the work. At one point, one of my books, The Complete Software Developer Career Guide, I don't have it in front of me now. It's like an 800-page book. And I literally just wrote 1 hour a day for 6 months. And then I had that book written. That's literally what I did. As far as running marathons, I've run like 6 or 7 marathons now. I've run 1 ultra marathon. It's getting up in the morning and just saying, I don't really feel like running today, but I have to run for this many miles. So I'm just going to do it. That is the key. And so what I would say for you guys is just sit down and just set a timer for some period of time. I tell this to all my coaching clients. You don't have to feel like doing it. You could feel like this is torture. It doesn't matter. Just do it anyway. Just sit down, set the timer, and work for that period of time. It might not even be your best work. That's fine. Some days, though, what will happen is you'll get really into it. Just like I'm recording this video. I set the timer. I'm going on the video. I'm not super into this video right now, to be honest with you, but I'm more into it than I was before I started recording this video because, hey, this is fun actually, because I'm already doing the work and I'm making progress. And so it's really hard to get started, but you've just got to do it. You've got to set the timer and get started and just force yourself to say, look, I don't have to be motivated, but I do have to do the thing. The next thing, real quick, if you are like me and you do not ever want to have to work again, if that's what you want to do, click the link down below. Let's book a call, a 15-minute call, and you can talk about your financial freedom plan. I help guys become financially free. I have a whole program in order to do that. Let's see if you're a good fit for that. And we can at least figure out what your goals are, but click the link down below. And again, you're going to probably want to do something in life, but it's something you should definitely take advantage if you haven't already booked a call. Go ahead and do that. Now, talk about the next thing as far as what to do when you just don't feel like working is break things down into small little chunks. This video I'm doing right now, I've broken this down because I had to do all the work for today. I broke it down into small tasks. I had one task that was plan out 3 YouTube videos for the week. And then I had one that was record 3 YouTube videos for the week. Really, I could have broke it down into record a YouTube video. In fact, I could even break a YouTube video down into record the beginning, record the middle, record the end, different components like that. Breaking things down smaller makes a huge difference. When I ran my 50-mile race, it might seem like a ridiculous kind of thing to do. It's crazy. I never thought I'd run 50 miles. But what I did was I broke it down into 5-mile chunks. A 50-mile race is only 10 5-mile runs. That's not bad. It might seem like a lot to you to run 5 miles, but for me, who was running 20-mile runs, some 30-mile runs, to run a 5-mile run is like an easy run. I can do that real quickly. I just said I need to do 10 5-mile runs. So I set a milestone. I said I'm going to run 5 miles. And then from there, I'm going to run 5 more miles. I'm just going to tick these off. And then even when I was running, I would count it down. I'd be like, all right, I just got to make it to that tree. And then once I get to that tree, then I'm like, I just got to make it to that fire hydrant. I just got to make it to there. When you really don't feel like working, when you really feel like you're at the end of your rope and you just feel tired, sometimes you just got to set that milestone. For example, now I'm like, I just got to get this video recorded. And then I'm going to record 1 more video. And then I'm going to record 1 more video. So let's just get this 1 video done. That's my whole goal. Even if I just accomplish nothing else today, besides to just get this 1 video done that I'm recording right now, then I'll have at least made some progress forward. So I'm going to do that and just focus on that thing. Again, when you don't feel like working, when you don't feel motivated, some of the stuff, it's not what you want to hear, but you've got to learn this skill. You have to learn how to push through the pain and to, again, people say, oh, burnout, all this stuff. I get it. I understand. It doesn't matter. If you want to get the result, you've got to push through. Some days I feel great. I feel like recording YouTube videos. I feel like doing coaching. Most days I do not. That is just the nature of the beast. But you might say, John, why do you do something you don't want to do? You should do things you don't want to do in life. It's not about what you want to do. It's about what you want to become. And if you want to become successful, and if you want to become financially free, if you want to become someone who has a great physique or who has a lot of accomplishments in life, who's able to live the life that they want to, then you've got to be able to do those things. Again, if you want some help doing that, click the link down below. Let's jump on a call, free 15-minute call, and let's help get you on that path, because I want to help you to do that. If you want to watch another video about being lazy, basically, watch this video. It's called "You Are Not Lazy, It's Just This." I'll tell you why you're not actually lazy and what it actually is in that video.